Excellent. Okay. This is a meeting of the Fire Station Building Committee on August 10th, 2023 at 4:34. Through the city Zoom platform, the chair statement as follows. This meeting is being recorded. If any persons present are doing so, they must notify the chair at this time. Is anybody else recording the meeting? Nobody. All right, we like that. Attendance is the next item. David Singer is not present. I'm present. Mayor Roxanne, not yet. Chief Strahan, not yet. Diana,
Here.
present. Carol Collins. It's ours.
Here.
Thanks. That's
Butch-
all right.
Butch, the
David
mayor
M?
just joined us.
Oh, hi, Mayor. We'll add the mayor. David M. Steve Draculich. Present.
He's here.
Dean Wall.
Here.
Steve McMahon. Jen Stromston
Here.
and Jim Nguyen.
Here.
Okay, also we have Laura Phelps. Wow. Outside, we have Jean Howard from IT. We have Katrina Pacheco.
Hello.
And we have Neil Joyce.
Present.
And we're off to the races. Okay, prior minutes. I haven't gotten anything from Peter. I think Peter's still been on vacation, so I think he's gonna owe us the meetings of minutes when he gets back. So we'll table those till the next meeting. Okay, budget update, payment submittals and current budget status. Neil, you got the screen.
Everybody see that?
I didn't see it. Yeah.
So we recently have processed invoices. You should have all received the invoice package from Butch earlier. Butch, I don't have that number in front of me today.
I
But
do.
you want to read it off for the record?
Sure. It's $1,132,831.76.
Those are all representative of progress updates and progress payments to ourselves, the architect, as well as the contractor for work completed in July. We made our first payment for the technology items that were received. We have kicked off efforts with the commissioning agent now that we're into the rough-ins within the building, and also to Multivista, who is a record photography company who will be photographing our building for facilities purposes moving forward. So with those amounts paid and with an approval from the committee this afternoon, the budget update that you're seeing, OPM line item is at 66% completion. The architect is at 91% completion, noting, of course, that the architect's fee is heavily weighted in the design phase of work. Like I say, we're just getting started with the commissioning agent, so they're just beginning their work as of now. Construction is, I honestly, I would say probably a little bit underbilled at 47% complete. All of the miscellaneous line items for testing and utility back charges, moving expenses, miscellaneous project expenses, printing and legal expenses are all trending very favorably at just 26% complete. So that's going better than expected. Furnitures, fixtures, and equipment. Again, first invoice was for the technology items that we received and voted in last month. Temporary station, we're still carrying $500,000 for completion so far. And owner's contingency through change order 4 is still sitting just over $950,000 of uncommitted contingency. So overall on the budget, we are tracking just under 53% complete on spending. We've spent a total of $11.3 million and have $10.3 million remaining to expend. So I'm happy to take any questions people have on the budget.
Anybody speak up, because I can't see all on the screen here. If anybody's got a question on the budget?
I have a question.
Sure, Mayor, go ahead.
Well, I have a couple, I guess. The photographer who's going to be, whatever you said, facilities photographer, what is the reason for that?
So Multi Vista, we actually talked about this as a committee many months ago. The former facilities director requested that we include their photographic services. The benefit that they provide to the facilities group is that at the end of the project, they will provide a record photograph of all of the utilities, electrical, plumbing, mechanical, ventilation, everything that is buried within the walls of each room in the building. And it will provide a very good and photographic as-built of where those utilities are located. God forbid, 10 years from now, you need to open up a wall in the building for whatever reason. You will know and have a record of exactly what is behind that wall before you put a saw blade into the drywall. It comes in electronically, Mayor. So their format is that you'll get a floor plan, and on the floor plan there'll be 4 arrows in every room pointing to each of the various walls. And if you click on that arrow for whatever view you're looking for, it will pop up with an as-built photograph of what is buried within that wall. So you'll know structural elements as well as any mechanical or electrical items that are there.
Great. Okay, that's good. And you said I thought I caught you saying, or I thought I caught that you said we are a little underbuilt. What does that mean? We are behind schedule, or does it not?
No, I think what underbuild typically is indicative that your billing is lagging behind your field work.
Okay.
And that is fairly typical at this stage of the project.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That's it for me.
Any more questions for Neil on the budget? Hearing none. Is there a motion to accept the budget as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Very good. All those in favor? I'm in favor. Yes. Mayor?
Yes.
Okay. Diana?
Yes.
Carol?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
And Jim?
Yes.
Thank you very much. All right. Moving on to the project updates, design team OPM, update on the design and construction progress and schedule. Katrina, if you could jump in on that one.
Sure. Thank you, Butch. As many of you have probably seen as you're driving by, there's a lot more of the building that's been spray foam insulation applied around the building. Most of the metal roof has been applied on the front portions of the roof. They still have a couple things to finish there, but there are gutters on parts of that. There's still some more roofing to occur along the back side towards the railroad that needs to happen up and over that wall. The interior, as you heard about, the rough ends are happening. That means conduit is being put in the wall. You've got plumbing piping that's in walls. Anything that was under the slabs, that work is complete under the slabs as far as we're aware. I'm trying to think, we're working with getting some requests out to the contractor for things that have been requested on the behalf of the department or actually from DPW. Before George left, he requested water hydrants up on the roof level. So we've asked the contractor for some pricing on that. And there are a couple other minor things, and I would call them minor because they're not huge dollar values that we're expecting here for convenience items on behalf of the department. So all of that information we're putting together, getting out to DA Sullivan, and then waiting for them to give us the pricing.
Any questions for Katrina on where we're at the project level here?
What do we know about brick?
Okay, masonry, from what I just heard, we are, I believe, still waiting for the exterior masonry to come from Maine, if I believe that's correct. We were expecting it, I believe, a week ago, and I'm just recalling what I heard in Monday's meeting. So we are still expecting that to get on site. We are concerned that some of the spray foam that's been up for a while does get covered because that does have a 90-day exposure concern there. So we are hoping that it does arrive this week. I haven't been on site. So Neil, do you know, have you heard anything from either Tim Mullen or from Mark or Dave?
Not since our meeting on Monday.
Okay.
There's a big tractor trailer truck in there yesterday, so I don't know what was in it, but could have been.
Okay. Well, if I don't know that everyone has access, but we have some photos that we can look at to see if we can see that, but they are limited to what someone takes on site.
Right. Yeah, so from the inside of the building, it's progressing really well. The amount of plumbing and electrical and stud walls that are up, that are going, they put some primer spray paint on a lot of the concrete block walls in the bay areas. It's really starting to come together pretty quick. Now I noticed they started adding a variety of sheetrock different places in there, so that obviously is completed. Maybe Neil, if you can just touch on we just had our first meeting with the commissioning service agent there. And maybe just touch upon the discussion we had on electrical for the temporary hookup for the electrical supply. We just really sort of kicked off a group meeting with that.
So from a commissioning standpoint, normally the commissioning agent is engaged at this point of the project. They begin to oversee and provide a second set of eyes on all of the mechanical and electrical systems that are being put into the building. They will do a series of functional testing once all of the various building systems and elements are brought in and brought up online on permanent power. So their process really begins in earnest. Like I said, at this point, they'll begin to do monthly inspections and photographs. They'll be creating deficiency logs or observation logs, if you will, of anything that they see that they don't like and that needs to be addressed. And we'll continue to track that with the contractor through the mechanical trades as the project is moving forward. With regard to the electrical, as we had made the committee aware in the past couple of months, we are still battling supply chain issues with various electrical elements, most notably the main switch gear for the main distribution panel in the electric room. That is the main switch between the secondary power coming into the building and all the distribution panels downstream of it located throughout the building. So it's a pretty critical piece of equipment. The delivery date that we have on that remains March 1st, which we are still looking to improve as part of a strategy to sort of work around that and get the building occupied. We've begun a series of discussions with both the electrical engineer and the electrician, the first of which was last week, to develop a plan to run the building on roughly 50% of the power that is available, or that would be available to the building in its final state. We fully understand that the building has to be 100% operational. But at the same time, we know that, for example, the temporary fire station is running at far less power than the permanent station will be in its final condition. So we're working with everybody. As an example, the heat in the apparatus bay is provided both by an all-electric rooftop unit as well as by an in-slab radiation that has the ability to run on a boiler fueled by gas as on an emergency basis. So we are looking at the possibility of putting the apparatus bays online without utilizing the all-electric rooftop unit and only using the in-slab radiation for the short term until the electrical power can be upgraded and utilized. We're looking at opportunities to shed the AC capacity within the existing building for the winter months and only use the heating capacity of the rooftop units, which will significantly reduce the heating or electrical loads imposed on the chiller. So we're looking at a couple of different options, all of which we need to run through our partners at Eversource and make sure that they can support us in those needs with the transformers that will be placed on site. And we hope to have more to report to you next month or the following month after subsequent meetings.
All right. Yeah, basically it's a 1600 amp facility and we're trying to get it to 800 amp. We do have access to 800 amp service. So we're trying to get the amperage to the point that we can operate between some gas, run generators and heat and electricity to run the rest of the building and eke our way through it and get out of the temporary and save some money there. Any questions for Neil on either of those issues, the commissioning agent or the work that we're trying to do in getting that temporary electric setup going? Or any other questions? No? Okay, very good. Thank you, Neil.
You're welcome, Butch.
The next meeting I got scheduled for September 14th, which is the second Thursday of September. And with that, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. Thank everybody for jumping in and making a quorum for August for us.
I move to adjourn.
All right.
Second.
All right. All those in favor? I'm in favor. Mayor?
Aye, aye,
Aye, aye. Liz, you can make your meeting.
aye. I can.
Yeah,
A
Carol,
little room to spare. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Steve,
Thanks, Mayor.
Jean.
Yes.
Okay, Jen,
Yes.
Jim. Okay, everybody. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Enjoy your
Take care.
game.
Play the game,
Thanks.
Butch.
Yep.